Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's your old pal, Mr. Greg here, broadcasting to you from Mr. Greg's top secret auxiliary undisclosed broadcasting location with this week's video. On a more serious note, today Mr. Greg would like to draw your attention to a rising threat here in the US. A threat that has been on Mr. Greg's radar for quite some time. One that threatens the security here at Mr. Greg's top secret auxiliary undisclosed broadcasting location, as well as all of yours at home. If you guessed extraterrestrial motivations in the US political system, that is for another video. Today, I wanted to discuss the Kamari Method, and why, if you aren't already worried, why you should be. The Kamari Method has been a growing trend in much of the world in recent years. However, it has only just recently hit the US since Netflix decided to popularize it on their streaming service. The Kamari Method seems innocent enough in that it is a way to unclutter our lives, with cute slogans like, "Commit yourself to tidying," or "Does it spark joy?" But the true nature of the Kamari Method is far more sinister at its core, one that takes its followers far down a rabbit hole, ultimately ending lives in despair. Here at Mr. Greg's top secret auxiliary undisclosed broadcasting location, it started with Mrs. Greg going on one of her many cleaning sprees. As such, Mr. Greg behaved as he always does during one of Mrs. Greg's turbulent affairs, by taking Mr. Greg's top secret auxiliary undisclosed broadcasting location's chief security advisor, or dog, for a walk. Upon returning, Mr. Greg was delighted to find that Mrs. Greg had finally disposed of her collection of past year's birthday cards, which now freed up a second parking space in the garage. Mrs. Greg had also parted ways with both her slap bracelet and Pogs collection, which meant that there was now room for Mr. Greg to set up his automated incoming nuclear weapons laser assault system on the dining room table. This trend continued for months until things started getting weird. Mrs. Greg all of a sudden decided that Mr. Greg's left socks no longer sparked joy. Then it was Tupperware lids, and then it was the driver's side seatbelts in Mr. Greg's vehicles. Mrs. Greg started quoting Kamari Method slogans in her sleep, and then uncluttering while sleepwalking. Until Mr. Greg awoke one night to being bound and gagged while being dragged down the stairs. In a sleep-like paralysis, Mrs. Greg repeatedly chanted, "Does not spark joy." Luckily enough, Mr. Greg's instincts from his former training at the Harry Houdini online school for escapists at Hogwarts kicked in, and he freed himself without incident. Had Mr. Greg not sought training for escapology years prior, events could have unfolded much differently. Mrs. Greg is now seeking treatment at the Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane in a clutter-free space. And in the coming years is expected to make a partial recovery. Which is why I am openly inviting any and all whose lives have been affected by the Kamari Method into a first of its kind and my very own Coalition Against the Kamari Method support group. This week's song is I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. We're going to get to the tune here in just a few, but like all other videos and in the name of redundancy, I want you guys at home to check your tuning. You'll recall from all other videos that the G string at the 2nd fret produces the same A note as your open A string. That the E string 5th fret also produces that same A note as your open A string, and that the C string 4th fret should produce the same E note as your open E. If that sounds good, skip ahead, otherwise this is how your G should sound. Your C, your E, and your A. Okay, this song uses 5 chords. It uses your E minor. Now you can do the 2-finger version or the 3-finger version. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. You have a D, a G, a C, and an A minor. All chords in this song are going to get 1 strum per mentioning of the chord. However, we do have some chords that are going to be sharing measures or bracketed together. So if you look at the first line of the verse, you have over the line, I've got to take a little time. That E minor is a dotted half note, and the D is a quarter note strummed on the fourth count. That's what that 4 in parentheses next to it means. So that measure is like this. From your E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2 for your G, 3, 4. Okay? So that's the verses with the bracketed chords. The first of the bracketed chords is going to get 3 counts, and the second is going to get the 4th count. When we go down to the pre-chorus, where the D's and the A minors, so for instance, if you look at the top line of the pre-chorus, life, there's been heartache and pain, okay? That D over heartache and the A minor over pain, those are each going to be half notes. So D is going to be strummed on 1, and A minor is going to be strummed on 3 of that measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then when we come down to the very bottom line of both pre-choruses over the line, to change this lonely life, those are all going to be quarter notes, and you can line those up with the syllables. So you could have change this lonely life. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's the D over life, okay? In our choruses, we have the G and the E minors, or the A minor and the E minors are bracketed together. That's the same thing like it was in the verse. The first of the 2 chords gets 3 counts, and the second gets the 4th count. And again, that's what the 4 in parentheses next to those chords means. Now, the last little thing that I have to explain here is we're going to go back up to the top. Well, really, in any of the verses, you'll see it. There's a C with a 2/4 in parentheses next to it. That C is in what we call 2/4 timing. So as most of us are used to playing chords with a measure equaling 4 counts, that C is in 2/4 timing, meaning that it's going to get 2 counts. So 1, 2, and then that E minor is 1 of the next measure. So that's the second line, a little time to think things over. A little 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the E minor over the word over. So I'll play that the first 2 lines of the verse so that you guys can get an idea of how that C fits in there, being a 2/4 measure against the rest of the other chords. So I've got to take a little time to think things over. Did you see how fast that C was? If I were to count it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not the most common, kind of rhythmic thing in pop music, but pretty effective. The way that we're going to play this is we're going to go down the first page and down the second page, and then that last chorus is going to be 3 times. So let's give it a shot, you guys. All right, foreigners, I want to know what love is. Here we go. Gotta take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now, I've traveled too far to change this lonely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. I know you can show me. I've got to take a little time to look around me. I've got nowhere left to hide. It looks like love has finally found me. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now, I've traveled too far to change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. Alright, you guys, there you go. Foreigners, I want to know what love is. I'll see you next week.